Hello guys, I'm Maiwa. I'm here again. I'm an English teacher and we're having the second series of what we started. The first class we did was on gerund. Today's class will be on gerund phrases. Sit tight, watch the video and increase your knowledge bank on English grammar. See you on the other side. Alright, welcome to the other side. Today's topic is gerund phrase. In our previous class, we talked about gerunds. Okay, let's quickly do a recap on what gerunds are. Quickly. Gerunds are verbs that end with ing. Gerunds are verbs ending in ing. Okay, so we did a lot about that. So for more information on that, you can check the previous video we did. Alright, today's class, gerund phrase. Now it's a progression on the previous class. Now when we talk about a gerund phrase, what is a gerund phrase? For reference, we have it on the board here. A gerund phrase is a group of words beginning with a gerund, including any other modifier or modifiers and an object. Okay, what does that mean? It means you're going to have a group of words. It can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4. Okay? Now, the group of words will have a gerund as the first word. The group of words, the gerund phrase will have a gerund as the first word. Remember, a gerund is a verb that ends in ing, like singing, dancing, writing, talking. Okay? Now, after that, you're going to have a modifier. Suppose we have a modifier. A modifier can be an adjective. It can also be a preposition. After that, you will have an object. Okay? Now, if we go by what I just said, then we have a gerund, a verb ending in ing, an adjective, and an object. So you have 3 words. So that gives a group of words. The 3 words in that group is what gives you a gerund phrase. Is that taken? All right. So that's what we call a gerund phrase. Now let's look at rules guiding a gerund phrase. These will help you to identify a gerund phrase wherever you see it. Even if you're sleeping and you're woken up, to identify a gerund phrase in an essay, okay, you'll be able to do it if you can follow the definition and this rule. What does the rule say? The first rule says the phrase will always start with a gerund. We've talked about that, so no need to dwell too much on that. Rule 2 says the gerund phrase will either have a modifier, an object, or both. We also talked about that while explaining the definition. The third one says the entire phrase will function as a noun. Remember, gerunds are verbing nouns. Verbs that function not as a verb but as a noun. So if you have a gerund phrase, it means the group of words, wherever it finds itself, will not function as a verb, but it will function as a noun. Now, the fourth rule says the phrase will have a singular agreement with a verb if it is the subject of the sentence. If it is the subject of the sentence, yes. So let's assume you have a group of a sentence now, and the gerund phrase is the subject of the sentence. Okay, it will have a singular agreement with the verb, which means the subject will be considered as a singular subject and it will attract a singular verb. So that is the rule, or these are the rules guiding gerund phrases. If you're able to follow it through, you will be able to identify gerund phrases anywhere you see it. Okay, let's go to examples now and look at these in view. Look at the examples in view of this rule we just talked about. So I'll wipe off this part of the board quickly. All right, we're down to examples now. So we're going to look at these examples in line with the rules guiding gerund phrases. Now we have the first example here. Let's look at it together. Singing at the concert excited me. Singing at the concert excited me. Now, if you remember the rule guiding gerund phrases. If you remember the rule guiding gerund phrases, we said the first one is that it should start with a gerund. The first rule is that it should start with what? A gerund, which is a verb in noun, a verb that ends in ing. If you look at the sentence, we have singing there. So this is a gerund, okay? Now, after singing, we have the preposition at here, okay? Now, we have the definite article the here. Then we have concert, which is the object. These four words together is what gives you a gerund phrase. The four words together gives you a gerund phrase, okay? And this serves as the subject of the sentence. So, singing at the concert is a gerund phrase there. Okay, if you look at the second example, Mayowa enjoys dancing at occasions. Mayowa enjoys dancing at occasions. Okay, now, Mayowa is the subject of the sentence. Enjoys is the verb. While we have dancing at occasions here. Now, dancing at occasions. Dancing is the gerund. At is the preposition. Occasions is the object of the prepositional phrase. Okay. Sorry, a gerund phrase. Forgive me for that. It's the object of the gerund phrase. Now, if you take the three together, it gives you the gerund phrase. And in this sentence, it's functioning as object of the verb. Okay? It's functioning as object of the verb. Now, let's go to functions of gerund phrases. Like gerunds, they share the same functions. Okay? Now, the first one we're looking at is subject of the sentence. A gerund phrase functioning as subject of the sentence. The example here says, singing at the concert excited me. You remember this? We used it just here. Okay. Singing at the concert excited me. Okay. Let's use them there. All right. So, singing at the concert is a gerund phrase there. Because we have the gerund here, you have the preposition here, you have the article here, then you have the object here. Okay, which gives you a phrase. Which gives you what? A phrase. Now, together, they form the subject of the sentence. Okay, they form the subject of the sentence. Now, if you look at the next one, direct object. Direct object. Now, let's look at this gerund phrase function as a direct object. Children like jumping on trampoline. They actually do. Children like jumping on trampoline. Okay? Now, if you look at the sentence, children is the subject. They perform the action. Like is the verb. Okay. Jumping on trampoline. Jumping on trampoline is the gerund phrase there. There's the gerund. Okay. This is the preposition and this is the object. Together they form a gerund phrase and they function as the object of this verb like. Do you understand that? Now, how do you know it's a noun? How do you know it's a noun? A gerund phrase functions as a noun. A phrase or a clause that's a noun can be replaced by the neuter gender it. Now, a pronoun, there's a pronoun called it. As one of the examples of a pronoun is it. Now, this pronoun is a neuter gender. It doesn't refer to a male or female. That's why it's called neuter gender. Now, if you have a phrase that's a noun or you have a clause that's a noun, if you replace it with this pronoun it will make perfect sense. So if you look at this sentence, children like it. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Children like it. What do they like? Jumping on trampoline. So that is how you can confirm that this is actually a noun. So we've talked about gerunds as subject of sentence, as direct objects. We're going to indirect object. When you talk about indirect object, what's an indirect object? An indirect object is someone or something that is not directly receiving the action of the verb. Okay, it's not directly receiving the action of the verb. That's an indirect object. Okay, now if you look at this example here, in my house, okay, we should have a comma here. In my house, we will give drinking only water a try. Yeah, that's actually true. We like drinking fizzy drinks at times. Okay, in my house, we will give drinking only water a try. Now let's analyze the sentence. In my house is a prepositional phrase functioning as an adverbial. Where? In my house. Okay, so this is a prepositional phrase. Now we is the subject. That's the person performing the action. Okay, myself and my household will give. Okay, so that's the verb there. Will give. What are we given? What are we given? We are giving a try. What are we giving? We are giving a try. So this is a direct object. This is a direct object. So what we're giving is a try. What are we giving a try? Drinking only water. Drinking only water. That's what we're giving a try. So what we're given is a try. What is receiving this try that we're given? It is drinking only water. That's what is receiving this try we're given. So this becomes the indirect object. How that's clear? Okay, so we just looked at a gerund phrase functioning as an indirect object. The sentence again. In my house, we will give drinking only water a try. We is the subject. We will give is the verb. What are we going to give? A try. What are we giving a try to? Drinking only water. So this is what is affected directly by this verb. Indirectly, it is affecting drinking only water. If you use what I told you in this second example, using the neuter gender it to check if it's actually correct, you can say, we will give it a try. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. It makes sense. Okay. So we actually have 5 functions of gerund phrases. We've talked about 3 now. We're going to the last 2, after which I'll give you exercise to test your understanding of the class so far. All right. We've talked about 3 functions of gerunds. We're going to the 4th one now. The 4th one is subject complement or predicate nominative. Subject complement or predicate nominative. All right, when you talk about subject complement, it's a word or a group of words that's giving you more information about the subject. Okay, if you call it predicate nominative, it's actually a noun on the predicate part of the sentence that's also giving you more information about the subject in the sentence. Okay, so you understand subject complement or nominative. Now let's go to the example there. My job is helping people attain proficiency in English language. My job is helping people attain proficiency in English language. All right, what's the subject of this sentence? What's the sentence all about? The sentence is all about my job. Okay, now what's the verb there? The verb is. Okay, that's the verb there. All right, what is that job that we're talking about? Helping people attain proficiency in English language. Yes, that's my job. Okay, it's giving you more information about my job. With this, you can tell what my job is. So it is the subject complement. It is complementing the subject. If you call it predicate nominative, this is the predicate is. So this is a noun because you can say my job is it. What is that it? Helping people attain proficiency in English language. Okay, so this is the predicate and there is a noun after it that's giving you more information about the subject of the sentence. So you can also call it predicate nominative. I hope that's clear. And if you follow the rules, we have this group of words from here. This is a long one, a very long one. Yeah. Okay. So if you look at it, it's starting with a gerund. Okay, it has a lot of grammatical units under it, but together it's a gerund phrase and it's functioning as a subject complement. Now to the last function of a gerund phrase, object of preposition. Object of preposition. A preposition is a word that shows relationship in terms of place between two nouns. All right, let's look at the example here. Her interest in reading developed over time. Her interest in reading developed over time. Okay? Now, if you look at this example, her interest is the subject of the sentence, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about her interest. In shows position. So it's a preposition. In what? Reading. Okay? Reading is a gerund there. Okay? And that shows it's an object to this preposition, because preposition is in, while reading is subject to this preposition. So we have reading as an object of the preposition here. But reading is just a gerund. You know, we're talking about gerund phrases. So we can say interest in reading novels. Yeah. It's a novels. Yeah. Developed over time. Okay. So we have a gerund phrase there. Remember, gerund is a group of words. So we have a gerund and we have the object there. Okay. So that's the end of the class. It's another exciting one. We've come to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned from it. Okay. Now, to test your understanding of what we've done so far, I'm going to give you something to try on your own at home. It's called Home Fun. And what are you going to do? Write 5 sentences. Write 5 sentences. You may not have to write it. You can just type it. Okay? Type 5 sentences. And in each of these sentences, use a gerund phrase. Okay? So you type 5 sentences. Use a gerund phrase in each of them. Now, drop these sentences under the comment section. Let me analyze it. Let me see whether you actually got what we did today correctly. Thank you very much for your time. From this side, I'll say stay safe as we await the end of this pandemic that has shut down almost everything we had. All right. Bye for now.